So now I want to get into this idea that prison is a romantic mate, because when you are building and forming and sustaining soul ties in a romantic relationship, a lot of times that is considered relationship building. And so then that is typical of a romantic partnership. The first time you're getting to know that person, you get all excited, you get the butterflies, and then you have conversations, then you have sex, then you go out to the movies, then you cook, then you do all these different things that are relationship things. Well, I'm suggesting when you're building a soul tie with prison and sustaining that soul tie with prison, in terms of going back and forth, is no different than going back and forth in a relationship. That you have adopted a relationship with prison that is almost a romantic ideal. It's almost aspirational. Aspirational in a sense that you're not reaching towards something to do something better to your life. You're using prison as an aspiration to return to it. And when you have a soul tie with an individual, there's something about that individual that pulls you, that triggers you, that makes you want to be with the person. You want to make love to the person. You want to have sex with the person. You want to eat food with the person. You want to do as much as you can with the person, because being away from the person really affects you in a negative way. You cry, you get angry, you get heartbroken, you want to talk to people. Sometimes you pull at somebody else, right? And I go over that as well. And it is a romantic mate. It's something about prison that people have romanticized, that people who have gone in and out of prison have romanticized. The men in the prison become become your brothers. Sometimes they become your mates. Um, in a romantic sense. The men, you have this camaraderie with each other. You both know about each other. You know about all the different men. You know about all the different uh, groups that are separated by race. And so you're looking at demographics, right? You're looking at gender characteristics. You're looking at group dynamics, um, group formations. You are looking at authority, right? Within those groups, you have an authority figure, right? The leader. Then you're looking at the authority of the system that you're all up under, right? You're looking at that hierarchy of authority for which you don't, for which you can't really participate. So then you try to create a mock hierarchy within your group. You, you're looking at a system of government, right? Facilitating policies and laws. I think prisoners come in, they get a handbook or something like that. That structure and organization. And you would think then that if you're up under that kind of structure and organization, that and you try to mimic it and adopt it and sometimes mock it, that when you got out, you would have some sense of structure and organization that you need to adopt. And so, why is it that you don't mimic that on the outside? You don't mimic it on the outside. You don't create a structured, organized understanding of life outside of prison. So then it goes back to the soul tie aspect of this situation, where prison is a romantic mate for you. It's something that you can you can depend upon emotionally, and it's like a companion that you're holding hands with as you walk down the sidewalk. It's like a companion where you hugged up in the house and you're watching a movie. It's like a companion that you sleep with and you roll around in the bed with. It's like a companion when you take showers with that person. It's like a companion when you eat dinner with that person and you discuss the day, right? It's a companion. Prison is a companion, it's a romantic mate. And so, if you want to get out of this idea of going back and forth to prison, you're going to have to address this situation, the situation that you're in, and 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 begin to resolve your misunderstanding of where you are. You are in a prison. You are not with a romantic partner. You, and it doesn't matter if you formed a romantic relationship with a fellow prisoner, you both cannot be in relationship with each other and date each other while you are in prison. The same is true of a woman who is dating a man in prison. You're not dating anyone. He's in prison. You're on the outside. You're putting money on his books. You're visiting him while he's in prison. But you have created this fantasy and this ideal about who he is and what you guys are going to do, and you're going to be big bosses, and he's your king, and you are his queen, when you both equally have a relationship with the prison, not with each other. And so prison as a romantic mate is something that is really interesting. When I was thinking about it, in terms of creating this presentation, because you don't have a relationship with each other. It looks like it because you're writing letters, you're sending money, you're sending postcards, you're kissing, you visit, you do all these different things that look like a relationship, but it's a false ideal. You are not in relationship with each other. You are in relationship with the prison. And that's something that I want you to understand, because when it comes to your ability to be able to see him, you see him on the basis of the prison telling you that you can see him, not on the basis of you signing up and putting your name on the waiting list and saying I want to see him. You don't run anything. You both don't run anything. You are subject to the guiding laws and policies and guidelines of the prison. So that's who you actually have a relationship with. All right, so now that you've gotten to the end, this is you can visit, subscribe, and follow. My website is reginawhyfavors.com. Then you can visit my YouTube channel, youtube.com// at Regina Y Favors. And then I have an author store, reginawhyfavorsauthor.com. I also have other types of websites as well. So thank you very much for listening.